What do you think you're doing?
I was just taking a nap.
Who said you can do that? Get up and go to work.
Well, we heard the boss. Back at it. But first... Alright, now that that painful process is over, let's get out there and see if we can make a little bit of money. It is Thursday evening, so should be okay today. Got our first order, $16 for 10.7 miles. Definitely farther than I want to go, but it's not too bad. Especially being early. Kind of got to take what you can get sometimes when it's early like this. So, I don't think it'll be too bad. I sure hope not. So, I'll let you know. Alright, so I got both of them dropped off. You can see I'm out in the country. Had to drive 10 miles, you know. I'm not sure what some people are thinking. It never fails when you get a stack order and you got to go a long ways. The one that's the farthest out is almost always the one with the smallest tip. I don't know how you make someone drive this far out and for a $2 tip, but I mean, I guess at least they tipped. I've seen people who expect you to drive 15 miles with no tip or whatever. So there's a couple apps, if you DoorDash especially, and then some of them work for Grubhub too. There's a couple apps that you have to have if you want to be able to make good money, the money you deserve. First one you need is a driver's utility app, and that app connects with DoorDash, and it will, when you get an order, it will pop up and show you quite a few different things. The main thing I use it for is it'll tell me the miles, give me the address, give me how far I'm going to drive, how many miles per dollar it is, or dollars per mile I should say it is, and it's very useful to let me know, you know, whether it's worth taking an order or not. And then the other one is Para. And Para, while it used to give you tip transparency, and DoorDash caught onto that and foiled that for them. So a lot of people don't use it, but I still use it because you can see, even though you can't see the full tip necessarily, you can see if you got a tip. So you'll see that someone left you a 0 tip, so maybe you got to drive 10 miles and the order and the price is $13, where you might think that's halfway decent, but then you see it's 0 tip, and that'll let you know if you're on the fence about taking it or not. You don't want to take it, because those are the kind of people, they'll be mad that if the price is that high when they left 0 tip, that means that food's been sitting there waiting for someone to accept the order. So that's the kind of person that'll be mad that their food had to sit and wait, not thinking that the reason it's waiting is because it's a tip, and the person that picked it up is doing you a favor, and it's not their fault it sat and waited. But they'll be mad that it sat and waited, and they'll, you know, either gripe at you or leave you a bad review or something like that. And also, like I've said before, the people that don't tip are the ones that are far more likely to try and scam and say that you didn't give them their food, and trying to get free food. They don't care that it'll cost you your job with DoorDash or whoever. They don't care about that. All they care about is that they get their free Chipotle burrito. So that's the type of people that do that stuff. So since I started using Para, man, my ratings went from like 4.7 something to 4.98. People are just, that tip, are just far friendlier. You know, they just, everything's better about them, frankly. You know, people that don't tip, you know, every now and then they'll come out. I don't understand how they can look you in the eye. Sometimes they'll come out and they'll do one it handed right to them, and oh, thank you so much. Well, thank you don't pay the bills, you know. So anyway, that's my little spiel. Those two apps are very important, so you really should get those if you're going to be doing this job. All right, got our next order. $11.50, just a few miles. Chick-fil-A. I'm not a fan of going to Chick-fil-A to pick stuff up. Sometimes they're really fast, sometimes you gotta wait forever. So hopefully this will be a fast one. Another thing about Chick-fil-A is, I don't know why, but you cannot get stacked orders from Chick-fil-A. I've never gotten a stacked order from Chick-fil-A, so I don't know what the reason for that is, but it's kind of annoying that that's not even possible. So the only time I ever get more than one order is if I get it from another app. So this one's through Doordash, so it won't be a stacked order with Doordash, but hopefully it'll go really quick. Dropped off that one. It was quick and easy, not too bad. $11.50, I think. But got a late start today, a little bit 15-20 minutes later than usual, because I stopped and got gas, and just later getting out, and then driving out that first one, going out so far and coming back. So I'm only at $27 and it's 6:39, so I'm not hitting $50 by 7 o'clock like I try to do. If I had that first one to do over again, I would have kept the first order on it and unassigned that second order, but it is what it is. What's done is done. So we'll keep going. Hopefully I'll get a good one here soon. Ooh, the orders are rough tonight. I've been getting some bad ones. Finally got this one from Chick-fil-A that's good though. $10.25 for about 4 miles, but man, nothing but $0 and $1 tips, and or driving 5 miles for $6 and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's a rough night so far. So a couple things. First, that order went really smooth, no big deal. But on the way to drop it off, it's dark out, and I damn near hit a homeless person crossing the street, not at a crosswalk, dark clothes on, couldn't see him. And when I say almost hit, I mean almost hit. They had to stop like right before I hit them. I don't know what they were thinking. That's a huge problem here in California. It's unbelievable. I mean, you can't even fathom it, I promise you, if you're not here. And then another one, this one pisses me off, is people running through town at night with their bright lights on. Can't see a thing because they're blinding you. You flash them and they still don't turn them off. How idiotic is that? You don't use bright lights in the middle of town. So anyway, there's my little bit of a rant. Headed back. Hopefully I can get a decent order. It's slow tonight. Hotel elevators are the slowest elevators. So the Outback Steakhouse around here is weird. It's probably everywhere, but they, you know, this trend they have of having multiple restaurants inside of a restaurant. Well, Outback Steakhouse has 3 restaurants: Outback and an Aussie Grill and Tender Shack. Anyway, I got an order from Aussie Grill, and nothing special about it. A decent order, $9.50 to go a few miles. So I took it, and that's what I just dropped it off. It went fine in the hotel, no big deal. But then after I got it, I also got a second order to make it a stack order from Tender Shack, which took me a few minutes to figure out that's the same place. And but on top of that, it was an order that normally I probably wouldn't have taken, but I think because I took it because it's slow, and I think because it's slow is the reason I even got it in the first place. It was for $14 or $14.50, and for 12 extra miles. And the reason I think I got it because it's slow is because the first order drove me a few miles one way, and then this order has me backtracking and then going all the way down to the next town. I don't think that they would have done that if it they had plenty of dashers and it wasn't slow out and all that. So it's a slow night. Sometimes you got to take what you can get, and it's mostly freeway. It's probably 10 miles of it's freeway, so it's not a big deal. But normally I wouldn't have taken it, but you know, some nights you got to take what you can get. It hasn't been bad, but it's definitely not as good as most nights. So anyway, I'm on the way to drop it off. It's about a 15-minute drive, so oh well. All right, got that one dropped off. Bit of a drive there, but oh well. I got a Grubhub order to go do real quick, and it's probably going to be my last one of the night. It's been slow tonight. This will put me, you know, about 70 bucks or so finish up a little early. You know, 70 bucks in a few hours, less than 3 hours. I mean, that's not too bad. So, especially when I've had a good week the rest of the week. So, I'll take it. But I'm going to go get this one. So I ended up dropping that Grubhub order. It was for a Chipotle, and I show up at Chipotle and the place is absolutely packed and tons of like dashers and people waiting for orders. It was going to be forever before I got my order. So I canceled that one, and then I almost immediately got a stack order, so for $19. So this one's much better. I think it's even a shorter distance. I don't really remember, to be honest. So I'll make this one my last of the night, and that'll put me closer to 80 instead of 70. So that's even better. So I'm headed to, I already got one of them, and I'm headed to pick up the second one from Cold Stone. No lights on. You always gotta love that. Can't see a thing. All right, just in my last one. Both the last two couldn't even leave a light on for me. It's always fun walking in the dark trying to figure out what you're doing, but it's all right. About 80 bucks tonight, not too shabby. I think I'm gonna go get some food, get my wife the night off from cooking. She cooks for me most nights, so I'm gonna head down the way to get some food. All right, guys, well, I'm home. I got some food. Please give me a like, subscribe, and y'all have a good night.